Hi everyone, and welcome back to Sonya's Prep. This week's video is going to be all about Hanukkah. I think I'm going to divide this video into two separate parts. I'll do part one this time and part two next week. So this week's video, I'm going to share with you how I make 3 delicious recipes: my cottage cheese donuts, my hot cocoa bombs, which are right here, as well as my latkes. Really fun, delicious recipes where I got the kids involved and we all had such a blast doing it. Next week's video is going to be all about how I decorate the house for Hanukkah and how I make my delicious donuts. I might even throw in how I make my sourdough donuts in there as well if I have the time. So I'm very excited to get this video up and going for you, so let's get into it. I feel like that when you hear Hanukkah, there's one of two things that pop into your mind in terms of food. It's either latkes or donuts, and every single person that I ask has their own way of doing this recipe, and I'm just going to be sharing with you my version. And I know some people are very into doing the box grater method. They feel like that's the only way, but really I honestly have never noticed a difference. I've tried both ways, but the food processor is just so quick for me as a busy working mom. This gets the job done very quickly. The kids get involved, as you can see. It comes together very nicely. I just take Idaho potatoes or any kind of russet potato, peel it, wash it, put it through a food grater. I have about 6 here that I'm going to be adding 2 to 3 eggs. I think I could have gotten away with just adding 2 eggs this time. I'm putting in tons of garlic over here. I guess you could use fresh, but I just used the powdered. Black pepper and salt to taste. I mix everything thoroughly. I chose not to add in any onion this time because I wanted to add scallions instead. So you'll see that I'm going to be chopping up my scallions after I've cleaned them and washed them. I used about 3 large scallions here, sliced them up thinly, added them to the batter, and mixed everything thoroughly. You'll also probably notice that I don't add any flour into this batter. That's because I don't like my latkes to be very pancakey. I prefer them to be really crispy, stringy, and mostly just potatoes. But I know tons of people who add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of flour. So I guess try it out and see how you like yours. Into a skillet, I'm adding in about 1 inch of avocado oil and just lining up my station. I have a rack here with paper towels underneath so that my latkes can drain nicely. I'm heating up the oil, and then I'm going to be dropping in 1 tablespoon at a time and letting that brown on each side, flipping it obviously halfway through. So the way that we like to celebrate Hanukkah is that I will probably make these latkes about 3 times during that whole entire 8 days, and every single day we'll try to do something new and different. I'll make donuts one day, we'll do gift giving a few times during the holiday. So this is just something that I would do on 1 or 2 of the nights of Hanukkah, just to keep things interesting and fun for the kids. And as you can probably tell, these were gone in a snap. All the kids enjoyed them. We enjoy them just as they are. I know a lot of people enjoy them with applesauce or sour cream, but we're just plain old, I guess, non-traditional ones over here, but we just enjoy them this way. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Sonya's Prep and to another edition of how we're going to be celebrating Hanukkah in our house. If you missed last year's video, definitely check it out. There's loads of fun and lots of creative ideas of what to make and what to cook and how to just generally spend time with the kiddos on Hanukkah. Today I'm going to take you along and show you how I'm going to make cottage cheese donuts, which I don't know if you've ever heard of, but it's just a nice alternative to like the deep fried donuts, even though these are fried also. But at least they have cottage cheese in there and tons of protein. So come along and I'll show you how I make them. Let's get started on making these yummy cottage cheese donuts. This is what I'm using today. You could use the 4%, the 1%. I don't think it really matters. You're gonna need eggs, a little bit of baking soda, a tiny bit of vinegar, sugar, and flour, and that is all. Okay, so the cottage cheese that I'm gonna be using is 16 ounces, which is about 453 grams. Gonna place all of that into my bowl. Keeping it very real for you guys with you hearing all of the kids playing and screaming in the background. To that, I'll be adding in 2 eggs, a pinch of salt, 3 tablespoons of sugar. And now we're going to be making this interesting type of slurry. I'm going to be using baking soda, a really small amount of it. Let's say less than half of a teaspoon. And I'm going to use some vinegar. And it's going to fizz. Over here we have about, let's measure this out. It's about 3/4 of a cup to 1 cup of flour. I ended up adding in about another 1 heaping tablespoon of flour, and it definitely needed it. So this is the consistency that you're going for. It should be thick, and when you touch it with your hands, it shouldn't fall apart. I'm taking a very quick break to actually feed the kids some dinner. This is baked ziti, very simple to make. Boil some pasta, put some sauce in it with cheese, close it up and bake it in the oven at 400 degrees for about 30 to 35 minutes until it's ooey gooey and delicious. So this is just real life. Even though we're trying to do something yummy and delicious for dessert, we still have to feed the kids some dinner. So I just wanted to show you what I would typically make for them with this type of dessert. So separately now I'm putting some all-purpose flour in a bowl, taking a tablespoonful of the cottage cheese donut mixture, dropping it into the flour, mixing it around, rolling it between my hands, and then just placing it onto a plate so that it's all ready and set to go to be fried in the oil. I know that a few people may ask on here if these can be oven baked instead of fried. I do get this question a lot when I share my donut recipe or anything fried for that matter. And while of course you can, it's just not my personal preference. I feel like it really alters the taste and texture of something that just is the most delicious when fried. So obviously you're not indulging yourself with 6 donuts at a time. So, you know, as they say, everything in moderation. So if you're already eating something that's not so healthy for you, just eat one good one. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It's up to you. You can definitely try though. Now that all the cottage cheese donuts have been rolled up, I lined up my station again. I filled a frying pan with about 1 inch of avocado oil, gotten that all heated up, and I'm going to be dropping in the donuts one at a time and crisping them up on each side. I kept them for about 2 to 2.5 minutes on each side just to ensure that everything on the inside gets cooked through. I also lined a plate with some parchment paper so that I can easily drain all of the oil off of these cottage cheese donuts. The donuts have all been fried up and look so delicious already as they are, but to take them up a notch, I'm going to be sprinkling on some powdered sugar over the top, and it is just so yummy and delicious this way. Time for a taste test. So the donuts are all ready. The kids are in the background finishing up their dinner. These are so easy to make and they're so delicious.
Amen.
So good. And I don't feel so guilty because it's with cottage cheese. Here's a perfect video of what the inside looks like. It's perfect, light and bubbly inside. Yum. Go for it, Yoshua. So now I'm going to take you along and show you how I'm going to be making my hot cocoa bombs, which are very, very trendy. And I thought it would be such a cute idea to do this with the kiddos. I'm going to make it in my double boiler right here. This is the chocolate that I'm going to go for. I don't know, I never did this before. Hopefully it will work and not crack on me. So let's do this. I'm going to open this up, crack it all, put it in here, and put it on the fire and let the chocolate melt. I know that technically the bowl should not be floating inside of the pot, but to be honest with you, all of my bowls are in the dishwasher at the moment being cleaned, so I figured I'll keep an eye on it and I think it'll be fine. Yeah, so that didn't work. I transferred everything to a normal size bowl once the dishwasher was done washing everything. So now this is melting nicely and I'm just gonna wait until everything is melted beautifully. In all honesty, I'm having a very difficult time with melting this chocolate. I don't know if it's because originally I got a little water in there, but I'm just so sad. I don't think it's gonna work out. It's totally fine, but it's just, you know, upsetting because you have your heart set on creating something and it doesn't work. But I felt like it was a nice thing to still add to this video because not everything goes as we may have planned for it to go. So what I ended up doing is I ended up adding in a little bit of avocado oil in here and milk just to get it to melt because it just was not melting. I don't know why. If you guys know what I did wrong, let me know in the comments down below because I was really so excited on doing this, but it seemed to have finally melted. So I don't know, let's see where this goes. So the chocolate is melted. I don't know, if nothing else, I tried something new and different, and yeah, just like I thought, it's not working. I am a little sad and disappointed, but it's okay. Can you tell I'm stubborn? Especially with cooking, when I see that I can't do something, it just really, really bothers me. So I have a little bit of chocolate left from this thing, and I want to try again. This is my third time trying this, by the way. I'm not gonna throw out whatever I did make that wasn't working. I'm gonna add a few eggs into it and make like a s'more pie, which is delicious. You just add marshmallows to the top, and then you use a torch with some, I don't know what, a torch, and you like basically crispen up the marshmallows, and it comes out really, really delicious. So we'll enjoy that. But I'm gonna give this another shot just because I want to know that I can do it. Do you ever have those moments where you feel like just because they said I can't, I will? So let's see. I don't know. Let's see if it works. I don't know why it's not working. Oh my gosh, look at this. It's actually melting. Let's see if it'll like melt completely. So what did I learn? If you were to ask me, obviously do the double boiler part correctly. Make sure no water gets into the chocolate because that affects it. Oh my gosh, it's melting, guys. Yay! Oh my gosh, I'm very, very excited. Okay, maybe it'll actually work in the end. So I do have a second batch of, I have a second chocolate bar. So I'm gonna take half of it and add it over here so that we could actually have enough to make our hot cocoa bombs. You know what they say, right? If at first you don't succeed, keep trying basically. And look guys, it's actually melting. And it looks really beautiful and shiny. It actually gives me hope that I'll be able to make it work. I know, I'm silly. You know, these little things that show me that I can actually do something. And the kids are so super excited to actually decorate that. Let's hope it works. It looks beautiful. We're ready for the next step. The chocolate is glossy, beautiful, and fully melted. I have my molds here that I'm gonna be adding in a tablespoon or so at a time and smoothing it out across the entire thing and let that set. And if there's any holes, I'm gonna go back in there and fill them up. Oh my gosh, guys, I think it's actually gonna work this time. Very excited.
For you, it's all for you, it's all for you.
Although hot cocoa bombs are not a traditional Hanukkah treat, I wanted to try because it's winter time and it's the perfect thing to do with the kiddos. It was definitely not easy, but I'm definitely happy that I did try, and my kids had loads of fun decorating, as you'll see.
'Cause you fear the night and days.
I've just finished, pouring the chocolate in and making sure that all of the edges are covered. I'm gonna let that set. You could either put this in the refrigerator or into the freezer. And then I'm gonna go over the edges one more time just to make sure that nothing cracks based on my previous experience, because it cracked last time.
It's all for you, it's all for you, it's all for you.
So it's out of the fridge. Now gently I'm gonna lift up the mold.
It's working.
Oh, okay. Yay! Okay, this
Can you
is
feel this?
excess. No, don't touch it, please. Don't touch it at all.
Come. Can you walk that?
So I have a hot pan over here that I'm going to melt the tops of my chocolates right over here so that everything can easily go on. So just a little bit. Yoshua put like a nice 2 spoons of the cocoa mix, and then Miriam can add in the marshmallows. Melted the other top half, and
We're gonna close it together.
it. Okay, let's do this.
I'm gonna make them a slide. The thing that messes is my middle.
Now with my leftover chocolate, I'm just going to drizzle it right over the top. Should I do one and then each of you do one? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's a
That's
good
a good
idea.
idea, right?
Another way to drizzle on the chocolate is obviously putting it into a Ziploc bag, snipping off the corner of it and doing it that way.
Okay, now practice, and then once you get the hang of it, then you could go directly on here. Okay, go ahead. Come on.
There to there.
Okay, and you can top it with different types of sprinkles. So we have 3 different types of sprinkles. I have the chocolate sprinkles, these like candy sprinkles, and the praline sprinkles. So each one is going to do their own.
This one.
You want to do this one?
Yeah.
Go ahead. We did it! After 3 tries. It's not perfect, but you know, at least I did it. So finally I did it, I made it, but I thought this was such an important lesson to keep in this video, even though it wasn't this flawlessly perfect recipe video, and my kids did see me struggle, and I think that it is a very important life lesson that even though things don't always work out perfectly, we just do our best and we try our best, and if it doesn't work out in the end, we're still okay. So for this chocolate that got ruined, I'm going to just be adding in 3 eggs in here. I'm making this recipe up. I remember my husband, who was actually the baker of the family, he made like a s'more pie that I was talking about. And I'm assuming you just need to put eggs in here and mix it really, really well. And then I'll fill it up with my pie crust over here, top it with a bunch of marshmallows, and that's it. So let's see how this will actually come out. I filled it up, put the marshmallows over the top. Now it's gonna go into a 350-degree oven until it sets, maybe about 30 minutes. It should not take so long to cook. And then if this is not browned enough, I'm gonna use a torch and just torch the top. And we'll have a nice dessert for maybe after breakfast, because this is dairy. Yum! Look how gorgeous this actually came out. And I didn't have to use a torch or anything. I did cover it with a piece of foil after about 10 minutes because I noticed that it was browning and I didn't want it to burn. And if I see, it's all like stiffened up. It actually worked. Nothing went to waste, and I am a happy mama. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully you'll try out some of these recipes. If you do, don't forget to tag me on Instagram. I would love to see your creations and your spin on all of these recipes. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. It'll help my channel out so much. Don't forget to click that notification bell and subscribe to the channel not to miss next week's video or any of my videos. Happy Hanukkah and happy prepping from our family to yours.